All right, so I'm here with Elton Huang to talk about sort of the one of the elements of leadership we're describing that we think is critical, which is sort of the need to be kind of globally aware and globally astute and globally sophisticated, but really quite local, quite connected to the place of which you're a part, right? If you think about this notion that people have to be really connected to the place they're in a much more significant way, right? But aware of what's going on in the rest of the world, right? Is that really necessary in your mind? And if so, why?
I think it's good questions, but look at the nowadays, and you look at the change. Probably 10 years ago, we were talking about globalization. It's more about like the one-way kind of transportations from the mature market to the emerging markets. But now we look at the landscape, we are seeing kind of two-way communications, emerging markets investment, and also a lot of companies from emerging market talking about globalizations. And the second is about the notion behind this globalization. Look at this probably large multinational from the US, and probably 10 years ago, they probably look at the cost, low-cost manufacturing from emerging market, but now those emerging markets is transforming themselves from the low-cost manufacturing base to a potential market.
Right.
So you need to change your mindset, and for those like very rapid change. Another thing is about the like new development. It's ever changing. Say the money flow. 3 years ago, I visited U.S. together with the Chinese authorities. We're talking about the volume of venture capital in the innovation space. The U.S. people still believe U.S. is dominating that sectors in terms of the volume and investment. But look at today, and the huge volume actually is flowing from the mature market to the emerging markets for the new technology, for the innovation. So when we talk about global and local, and it's really an ever-changing kind of concept, and how to really be agile just to all those change, I guess is a big challenge.
So why is knowing China and being seen as part of China even more important than before?
I guess two reasons. One is look at the growth of China and the influence of China. A lot of people believe for the next 10 years, and China-US kind of relationship will be the one of most important relationship, and for the for most of the clients' operations. And you cannot just avoid just talking about China as one of the largest potential market. And secondly, and even you don't focus on this market, look at this, the innovation here, the technology here, like e-commerce, the online payment, the mobile payment, and those will sooner or later, those technology will be quickly replicated in other areas. Look at the Belt and Road initiatives, and those actually will be creating a lot of opportunities, but also the challenges as well for our clients and for most of the companies, not only large multinational, but also the small and medium-sized companies.
So it's kind of clear why it's important, right? Can you think of people you have in mind that sort of exemplify being really globally sophisticated but deeply locally aware? Anyone come to mind, and how do they do it?
We have been servicing and various type of client segments, say the multinationals. Give you one example, like multinationals. Most of the multinationals now in China, their top like C-suite, most of them actually localized with very good understanding of the local market. But look at the background of those C-suite, most of them actually were educated in the Western countries. So, or they are trained, or they were trained in Western countries. So with global kind of knowledge and understanding of the global kind of commercial rules, but they are very experienced in the local market. So those multinational could be the most successful kind of operations here in China. This is one. The second is look at those Chinese clients. It's very interesting to see a lot of entrepreneurs in China, they have a systematic approach of visiting like US or Europe on a very regular basis to understand the kind of technology development, to understand the new model of doing business. But we rarely see the other way around, like the Western entrepreneurs, they visit China or other emerging market in a like very systematic way, and just to understand how the emerging market work.
So how did you get that way? How did you get to be someone who understands the world but actually kind of, sort of just exudes China? How'd you do that?
I guess two. One is being a professional for more than 20 years. I strongly believe that the human being is the most complicated thing. And I guess people are different from each other, say in China, in the US, in Europe. So, but I also strongly believe in the human is the answer to that complicated questions. So I understand more, actually, I try to understand more around the so-called the people thinking, the working style. But it's interesting to see from the like China or US or Europe, and like in terms of the so-called working style, and also in terms of the cultures, and people are very different. So I guess trying to learn from those people who got certain experience in some specific areas, it really helped.
So what came first? Were you a globalist first, or were you a Chinese national first in your mind? What came first?
I don't see there any like conflict just between these two,
Right.
being global or being local. And I don't even have to like prioritize these two,
Right.
Being global or being local. They are equally important to me. And actually, from our clients or from our people's perspective, we still regard as we're one of the best global organizations.
Right.
But from the individual case, individual clients, and they want us just to really forget about like the global background behind us, to be really focusing on their detailed like the imperatives and their details like the burning issues. So I guess the background give us a very good framework, kind of give us a very powerful kind of brand and very powerful team. And for individual cases, a lot of clients talk to us. I want you because of two things. One is your brand name. Second, you can provide a team just with specific experience in their particular issues. I guess being local and global, I guess they are equally important.